Hey guys, okay, so I've been promising to do this video for a long time, so I'm finally getting around to it. Mercury Retrograde. Now, by now you should know, or at least done enough research to know that Mercury Retrograde is when, from our perspective here on Earth, it looks like Mercury has slowed down and stopped and reversed in the opposite direction. Now, when that happens, it causes everything around us to, communication-wise, to go out of whack. You know, your internet may act crazy, your phone cutting off for no reason, appliances may cut off or get broke. And on the flip side, on communication between person to person, words are misinterpreted, old feelings come up, old boyfriends, old girlfriends, old lovers, old friends you haven't talked to a while may try to contact you to see how you're doing. They really have no clue why they're contacting you. You have no clue why they're contacting you, but they just feel the need to talk to you. A lot of issues that people have with you from past issues that even though they said they over, may come back, may resurface at this time and come back up. Now, with saying that, one, know that Mercury retrograde actually happens 3 times a year. And it happens 3 times a year for a reason. Mercury retrograde, like most people don't say Mercury, they blame everything on Mercury retrograde, and I do it sometimes as a joke. But Mercury retrograde really is not against you. Mercury retrograde is a time where, and I've said this in other videos, but Mercury retrograde is a time where your thought process is slowed down and reversed. And the reason why it's reversed is because a lot of times, trying to find a way to explain this without having to go all into the ego, which I'm going to do another video on the ego. But a lot of times, because of our disconnect between ego, logic, and spirit, because real quick, most people, in my belief, in my understanding, and I know this goes different than most, but in my belief, ego is connected to spirit. It's not connected to logic. It's not connected to flesh. Ego is not a physical thing. Ego is connected to spirit for the purpose of experiencing. But the problem is, when it's time to experience it, our logic that has been trained up since we was a child blocks the full experience from happening. Even though we're trying to do the experience and live out the experience and move on to the next, we have logic blocking and saying that this belief is wrong, this is wrong for this, what is this person going to think of this, what's going to happen tomorrow, blah, 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 just putting blocks and blocks and blocks up so we cannot enjoy the now of the experience. So with that being said, this causes a lot of problems, and this causes a lot of problems when we're trying to see things from a bigger perspective. So what Mercury retrograde does is messes with that logic, messes with those beliefs. It shows you, it literally will show you the beliefs that you're holding on to you that do not serve you no more. It literally does that. It also will show you where the beliefs come from, and it will show you conflicts that are hidden that you have with other people that you may not even know they had this thing against you. All this is for the purpose of healing. Like I said, I think I said either last night or in one of the room videos, but this is the reason why you always hear most Buddhists and spiritualists say, do not be attached. Do not be attached. And when you're opening the crown chakra, part of opening the crown chakra is not being attached to anything in this manifested world. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. It doesn't mean deny yourself. Deny yourself from it. It means do not be so attached that you can't move on when it's time to move on. Do not be so attached where now you imprison yourself as opposed to allow yourself to be the free person, the free spirit that you are. Like Jesus says in the Bible, we are to live in this world but not be of it. That doesn't mean, well, I'll do another video of that. But that's part of what it means. So when Mercury retrograde comes around, it comes around to show us those things that we are attached to that no longer serve us, forces, negative forces, so to speak, that are, I want to say negative forces, heavy forces. I don't like really using the words negative, positive, but heavy forces, condensed forces that are around that's holding us back that we need to let go of. Cobwebs in the closet, issues that we ignore and pile more logic on, and because of our logic we create more illusions. Mercury retrograde is really a time to break down those illusions. So instead of being an illusion of yourself, you could be the self that you came here to be. You could be free to be the unique expression of the source that you reincarnated to be, that you agreed with the source and everything else to experience. As we experience this, the source of all also experiences through us because we are a part of it and it is a part of us. There's no separation. Mercury retrograde is really a time to just sit back and think. It's not really a time to make big purchases. If you have to make big purchases, I would say now would be the time to start getting a contract together but not signing it. I will find somebody who was born under Mercury retrograde, preferably Aquarius, a Virgo, a Sagittarius, somebody like that who's in the legal field who was born in Mercury retrograde. And yes, I would ask if they know astrology because this is your life and it is serious to an extent. And I would have one of them, if you have to sign something now, look over your contract because Mercury retrograde works, it heightens us, I should say, more so where our senses are more open and we're it gets our creative juices flowing a little bit more. It helps us sit back and see. We're one of who it helps. Our senses are more open, so when it happens, even though we may not know it's Mercury retrograde, we know there's something going on for us to sit back and pay close attention. The ones that are more connected to spirit naturally start preparing for Mercury retrograde. I know it's a little bit late now because Mercury retrograde is here, but normally ways to prepare for Mercury retrograde is 1, you talk less, listen more. 2, think before you speak. 3, save extra money. Mercury retrograde will come around again before the end of the year. Yeah, it'll come around again before the end of the year. So, I'll do a video when it comes back, when it's supposed to come back around, hopefully before it come back around. Save a little extra money because Mercury retrograde is a lot of time when people do a lot of spending for no reason. In the moment, it seems like a great idea. But in the long run, you're like, why the hell did I buy that? If you pay your bills online, make sure that you write down every confirmation number and save it because, like I said, there's a lot of technical glitches during this time. If you write checks, make sure you keep your own account, written account of your check balance, not left them in computers. This is time of glitches, but a written account of all your balances. You should be doing that anyway. Around this time is the best time to sit down and have conversations if they're willing to do it. If it's somebody you want to keep in your life and just say, is there anything you need to talk to me about that you want to get off your chest? And if you're I don't want to say mature enough because mature actually means, you know what, I'm going to say that because I want to start to do some words with Word Wednesdays. I'm going to do after this. So I'm going to say what the word mature means. But if you're spiritually groomed enough to have a conversation with somebody that you would love to keep around, now's the time to go ahead and have those conversations to let all that anger and anxiety out if you can keep them around. Like I said, most people think Mercury retrograde is held because it's where communication goes all backwards, but it's not without a reason. The reason is so you can heal from all the stuff inside you. So if that is the true purpose of Mercury retrograde. That's what Mercury retrograde really does. And I want to keep this short and simple as possible. So everybody stay blessed and stay tuned for more videos. Peace.